Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Pixel Perfect Season 2. My name is Okada, and today we are starting out with, well, living the philosophy that we set out for the beginning of the previous episode when we said we're not going to stand around and do an intro. No. We're going to start doing the showing, don't telling, right? Show, don't tell. So, we're just getting right into it. We're definitely not telling you that we're getting limestone because we desperately need concrete for today's project. No, definitely not telling you that. Definitely showing you it. Okay. You see, that's what we're doing. I'm not explaining that because that's the philosophy. But show, don't tell. Also, not going to tell you, I'm just going to show you that today we are going to be trying to set up for our first major project, which of course is the residential area, the very first residential district of the map. Grab some leaves along the way. I'm not telling you that I'm getting fuel. Nope, I'm showing you. See, this is in the intro working. This is the new way. No, definitely not. And definitely not going to drag you along as I just desperately try to find every bit of limestone I can find. Okay, there's a pond. You know what? Let's go around it. Who knows? Maybe in 1.0 they added a sea monster. I don't think they did. Oh yeah, so we got a lot to do today. I'm going to be running back and forth for sure because I was a silly Billy there at the end of the last episode when we set up Adam and Eve on their permanent location and we hooked up the miner back to Adam. We, and I say we, I maybe kind of forgot to turn the miner back on. Now, of course, there hasn't been a whole lot of time between then and now anyway, but even during the outro and filming all that stuff, they weren't producing any of the badly needed iron plate. So we are going to be hurting for it pretty badly for a little while here, until it has some time for it to catch up. That's okay though. We'll spend a little time here getting our power lines run, and we'll just run as much that we can of the belts. You know, we didn't even look at what the quality or the purity was here. Impure, okay, of course it is, of course. Why should we have anything that's good around here? All right, and so I'm just pointing towards the hub. You see there on the compass at the top? just generically drawing in that direction. Because all of this is temporary. Because we are definitely, and I'm going to show you this, I'm not telling you, but we're definitely going to clean up that entire mess and get everything, why is this not raising? There it is. Everything on foundations. And that's going to take, of course, a crazy amount of concrete. Now, it looks like I don't even have a concrete on me for all these poles. Oh, I am just so ill-prepared. This is what the early game's like. I have to keep reminding myself, eventually we will be swimming in all of our basic materials, and we'll never again have to worry about all of this. We can still build in the water. Here we go. So let me get the supply up and running and back to the base so that we can have a reliable and reasonable amount of concrete being produced for the copious amounts of foundations that we are going to need for today. Okay, so we are continuing to add to our shame list with just, this all over the place. But again, this is all temporary, and this is going to help us clean it all up. Now, it's going to take like 10 minutes for all of that material to make its way up here, but at least now we have an avenue for getting it here. And I chose to put it here kind of on the side so that it won't get in our way when we're doing our cleanup project. So what we need is a couple of constructors. We are running seriously low on our reinforced iron plate. And again, we have not handcrafted any of this. It is purely from what we picked up off the ground on our way here in the first episode. So this is going to consume 45 limestone per minute, I think we have 60 coming in. So let's do 2 here. They won't run at full efficiency, but they will use all of the material. And yes, I've built that into a tree. That's done. I'm telling you, all things are excused for now. Oh, it does pain me though. All right, put that up here. Connected. Connected. There we go. And we can get to picking up everything that's in the yard, and I mean everything, and just start laying out just flat foundations and then start putting them back down. And you know, it'll be nice and organized. Again, this isn't going to be permanent, but at least it won't be this. So for the first time in season 2, we are going to try to do just a quick time lapse. Hopefully the tools still work the way I remember them, and if they don't, then maybe we won't have a time lapse. So let's just knock this out real quick. See if we can just make this place a little bit more respectable, so we can begin to move on and unlock more milestones. Maybe get our MAM up and running, and start doing some research ahead of our major project. All right, great success. Oh, look how nice it looks. Everything's on foundations. They're all lined up. Everything is beautiful. Now, there were a couple of hitches. One is there was no time lapse. Obviously, you know that by now. There was a problem with the mod that I have used in the past before 1.0, and it did create the files I need for the time lapse, but they were, let's just say that they were all wrong. They went bright and dark and bright and dark, like there was a cloud passing through them, but the camera wasn't that high up in the sky. So I'm gonna have to test it a little bit more and maybe get in touch with the mod creator. I've spoken with them in the past. It was real cool. So for now, maybe no time lapses. There was that little flying cam thing, which is the new feature built into the game, part of the photo mode. But it's really, really limited. There's no keyframing, there's nothing else. It's just from point A to point B. It's cute, but it's extremely limited. We'll probably continue to use it because, unfortunately, the thing that I would normally use for the cinematics is part of the same mod that I used for the time lapsing. So, you know, it's neat for a quick flyby. And so I'm not complaining, but it's going to look a little simple for now. The second problem is this took quite a bit of time. And during that time, the first thing I built was this for our concrete that we were talking about that we're going to need so badly. And well, I went to start recording this part and noticed that nothing's running. Literally the first thing I did was build these. Yeah, it seems that maybe I disconnected or didn't connect up the power lines. Oh goodness, I mean, I even ran halfway across the map and found another node so that we would have a lot more concrete. In fact, it was a nice normal node all the way down and up around there. So sadly, all of that time spent building and moving all this stuff did not result in any new concrete being made. So that's going to set us back a little bit because we need it. We need so very much of it. I threw a stack in here that I had in hand from what I had made before, you know, I taken all that down. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. It's no point in crying over spilt milk. I can't undo it. But we do have dedicated machines here for rods and screws. It's not high level production, but it's something. It's okay. It's just, you know, it's what we're going to need just to get by. We honestly, we don't need a high volume of it. And we have our copper stuff connected up again, coming up down here. And again, it's just one coming out. It's being split into the wire, which is going up into its own container, and cables. And the reason why I say we don't need a whole lot of this is because this is what the neighborhood's going to be about. It's going to be our early iron production and probably our early copper production. So that's when we'll go industrial, and all of this will be taken down after that point. So I'm not worried about how much is coming in, just that we have anything coming in, and we have at least one of everything. We have screws, rods, iron plate, cable, and wire, and of course, once it gets caught up, we will have concrete coming in. So that's what all we need. Let's while we're waiting for this to get to the building, you know, we did move the hub as well. And Adam and Eve, of course, they are in their forever home. That's fine. You know, this was a nice flat plane that we could use for all of this. What we're going to need to do next is start looking at our milestones. Of course, we still only have one more thing for the first tier, which is the MAM. And again, we can ignore all of these. These are just props. We'll come back and I'll, you know, mess around with these later. I don't even know what it takes to unlock them. Maybe it's just one click. I want to look through these and make sure that I actually want them before I start putting them in. Is this something I need to review? I'll do that off camera. But we do need this. This is a real tier, and this is going to give us our MAM. This is what we need to get going so we can start doing research on things. And we definitely can do all of this. In fact, we probably have it on us. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Very nice. Press the button. Excellent. And that will add the MAM. Oh, good. We have just enough reinforced iron plate. That's it. We're done on reinforced iron plate unless we dismantle things. Because I do not want to ever handcraft a reinforced iron plate. And that's something we're going to need for assemblers. I think they go into making assemblers. But you know what? We can dismantle some constructors long enough to have our first one up and running to be able to make the iron plate. So let's look. Infinite Zoop, this is something that I'm not going to bother with. This is going to be a full unlock because the whole point to this mod is that I don't want to have any restrictions to Zoop. So there's a command I'll have to do and it'll just, you know, just unlock all of it. I'm not going to worry about that. But let's see, what can we start working on? We want to work on, we definitely want to work on quartz. I know we have some quartz that we picked up from a rock on the ground. Nutrients, we have both of those. We don't have any bacon. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Oh, no. I think we must have gone over. Max consumption is 90. And we should be... Why is our capacity saying 0? What? What is going on here? Did I not hook something up? Okay. Biomass should be coming into here. Oh, I think I know what I did. I didn't hook the wood. Whoopsie. Oh, it's a good thing that I have fuel in hand. There we go. Yeah, that'll take care of itself. This has all been running in the background because I did exactly what I just did. I took solid fuel out of my inventory and stuck it in here so it would auto-distribute. Silly me, but it's good because that let us know that we are right on the line. Our max capacity will be 90. Our max consumption is 90. So if we put anything else on, this whole thing can go over. So I'm glad that brought it to our attention. Now, we can certainly split this again and we can go up to more biogenerators. So we're not at our true max, but that's just for the way we have it set up currently. Now, everything should be getting in. Very good. Flip the switch. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. I like having our hub on, you know, an actual foundation. You know, we went through all of season 1 and never picked it up and put it on a foundation. It's just terrible. Okay, we want the Mercer sphere, and I think it was remains, right? I think maybe those were in there. We needed those. Okay, nope, that's not what we want. We need this right here. Mam it up. Mamma jamma. All right. Pale berries. Need to... Do we need to drag them? Oh no, we just click on that research. Okay. I was gonna say, I didn't remember having to do that. And we're not gonna get any progress here right until we have the bacon. But let's just, this way we can get them out of our inventory. The sound for the man research is turned way down, maybe? Give me a second here. I'm going to check our audio settings. No, it looks like the man volume is at 100%, but I do have the game volume turned down a little bit. Because when I was editing episode 1, there were a lot of sounds that were just ridiculously loud. Like, the running around was unbelievably loud, and some other things. And so I turned those down individually, but I turned down the whole game sound a little bit. And I don't want to tweak it while I'm in the middle of an episode, because then I'll have to adjust all those sounds to match while I'm editing. So that's just something that we'll deal with next episode. All right, probably not gonna get far in this until we get an actual node that we can hit. Yeah, because we're gonna need to do some protection off of them. That's fine, all right. And these things, unknown metal, that's gonna be caterium. This is gonna be mycelium. And I'm not sure what those are. I should probably know off the top of my head, but they're all in a blank right now. All right, megafauna. The spitter. This is for the hog. We don't have a hog? Thought we had hog, okay. All right, I think it's everything we've got. Oh, the Mercer sphere, okay. And that's not gonna reveal whatever it is that we need. So we didn't really get much out of that, but that's fine. We got some things cleared out. And we know that we want to find our quartz because blade runners. Definitely want blade runners, but we're not going to be able to do blade runners until we have modular frames anyway. So let's take a look at our next milestones. These out of our inventory. I didn't pick up the hog remains. I'll run back over there and do that in a minute. We don't need to see that on camera. And let's go to tier 2 because technically tier 1's done. Ignore all of that. Part assembly. All right, there is our assembler. And I believe we have all of this. That's going to give us our modular frames. Excellent. That. All of that. All of that. Yep. Hang on a second. Let's get the cable. Oh, it's so nice having all of our storage containers next to each other. Just go get whatever I need. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Production. All right, assembler. Yeah. And it does appear that we're going to tear down a constructor or two long enough to be able to make the reinforced iron plate for ourselves. And we already picked up some rotors off the ground, so no hand crafting. Excellent. This does mean that we are going to need to up our power gain. So let's move some things around and get one of these bad boys up and running so we can get reinforced iron plate as a regular thing. All right, check this out. So I just noticed, and that doesn't look right. I mean, that is right. For some reason, it doesn't look right. Oh, that's because it's going up on elevation. That's why it doesn't look right. Anyway, what I noticed, so there's a new mode. I was aware of this. I haven't really experimented with it. There's a new mode for conveyor belts. And you'll see we did this perfect turn without having to actually place down a thing. So we've switched the modes. Look at that. It's like they made that mode for me. So right there's our default mode. And that's the new one. Oh, that is beautiful. That's they custom made that. They knew that I needed that. Oh, coffee stain. I love you guys. Oh, that's a little bit backwards there. All right, try that again. Oh, nope. There you go. Good. Oh, that is magnificent. What we're gonna do is connect you to a power pole somewhere. Again, we are still dreadfully missing our Mark II power poles. But that's just going to be a thing we're going to have to wait on because that's going to require quick wire. And we don't have that. Okay. I think that we are good now. No, we are not. Okay, now we will be good. This is going to use 30 iron plate per minute. I think that's more than we're making. So we might have to supplement our production line. But we'll take a look at it. Oh. All right, let's head back to the hub and see what else we can get done with the time that we have left. All right, I was taking a look at our time, and, well, we're really running out of it. But I have one major goal I want to accomplish before the end of this. Unfortunately, it means we're not going to get a chance to start the residential area this episode, but we knew we weren't going to make any real progress on it anyway. We're going to ignore the jump pads because, well, we just don't use them anyway. Eventually, we'll come back and get them. I mean, they take rotors. I'm not going to set up rotor production for this. I want to get this done real quick so we can get our customizer gun. And I want to go find a quartz node so that we can unlock our blade runners and craft them as the finale for the episode. So let's do this real quick, like. Got that. Got that. We don't have that or that. Give me a quick second. All right. Now, the reason why that was so significant was because I'm tired of looking at these orange structures. Because if you're new here, you might not realize these are not our factory colors. And anyone returning might remember that we had our own custom color set. So that should give us access to the customizer and the factory swatch. Edit that. We're going to change this. Maybe yellow was the top one, and red was the bottom one. Oh, there we go. Yes, it's my factory again. Ah, yes. So I realize there might be some regional differences. For me, hazard yellow is a color I associate with factories, not that orange color. And this crimson, I think, augments it beautifully. This looks like a factory to me. And after 2.5 years of looking at this color in our previous series, and, well, actually before that, before I even started the series, because my previous saves also use this color set, this makes it feel like satisfactory to me. So I have just tickled pink, or yellow, to finally get to see my colors on the factory walls. All right, last thing we need to do is get the quartz. Now that we can scan for it, quartz? What? Oh, 1,000 meters away. My goodness. Okay, let's, we're gonna be able to make ourselves a miner. So let's get a portable miner with us. You know, I was gonna say we have to make a miner, but if it's gonna be that far away, I think what we do is just for now, we take the portable miner and just get a handful of it and then come back. And then we can just set up a machine to process it. Because I don't really want to run 1,000 meters of conveyor belt. Not yet. In fact, let me get a second portable miner. All right, let's high speed the run. Uh-oh. Whoa! Oh! Oh! Oh, oh my goodness! Did you see that guy? Oh, if he'd caught us from behind, we would have been straight off the edge. Okay, I'm thinking that this is not the quartz mine that we are going to be going to. All right. High speed back home. All right, I probably did not high speed that fight because it would have looked really bad. Got attacked by 3. Okay. back to the run. I think we're gonna just keep our hub to the left. There's nothing that way. Oh, this looks like a mycelium cave. Probably full of spiders, so we're not going to go far into it. This is cool. It's a new graphic for the mycelia. We are not going any deeper. And I figure while I'm out and running around, I'm going to get myself farther away from the hub where we might be able to find some crystal over in the west. But also, I happen to know that there is a caterium node. So I figure while we're running, go get some caterium. All right. Right over there, you know, it looks like I can see it too. That should, or at least previously was, a caterium node. So let's get some foundations going on here. Zoom our way across. Caterium? Yeah. Pure too. So I customized the colors of my Pioneer because now there is a wardrobe station inside the hub. And green is my favorite color. And I had the extra benefit of it coloring all of my equipment green. I love it. That's a nice touch. That's going to be centered around gunpowder and whatnot. I don't think we need any of that right now. Ooh, see the tool belt. Extra equipment spot. That would be nice. But we're a long way from any of that, so let's not worry about it. Caterium, there we go. That is our route to quick wire and tier 2 power poles. And I'm going to make a second attempt at making it to that quartz. All right, fine. I know we don't have time for this, but getting here was such a pain. I think we're going to put a miner down on it and just... I don't know if we'll make it back to base, but we can at least, you know, get it out of the valley. So let's see if I can do this without getting myself killed. All right, we should have enough power to get this up and running. Let's kick this straight in. Also, there is the crash site over there that just requires power. I'm not going to bother putting it up today. While that is running its slow way across the map, this is ready for us. Of course, there'll be some on the belt. Yeah, all right. Let's just clean this up. All right. Should be enough to do some research. 50. I'm worried we're not going to have enough to actually use on things. I think that's the end of our caterium adventure for today. Oh boy. Of course it would require modular frames, but we can now make those. All right. Yeah, it was worth waiting there for 5 minutes to get it. This still isn't here. That's a little disconcerting. Did I forget to connect it? Okay, we've got enough. That's all that matters for now. All right, we're so close to Blade Runners. close. It's the Quartz research. Research Blade Runners. Oh yeah. And there goes the network. You know what? Too late, buddy. Too late. I got what I need. Dun dun dun! Blade Runners! Oh yeah, I gotta run everywhere. Nice high jumps. Jump over things. Oh, this is. Yeah, we will have these on for the rest of the season. You know, we'll eventually swap between jetpack and the hover pack, but these bad boys will never come off. I mean, except for when we die. All right, I'll deal with the power issue after the outro. All right, and I mentioned I changed up my skin. This is where we can do that. I actually showed this in the previous episode, but it got cut because of time. Super cool. All right, thank you so very much for coming out. We of course did not get to starting the residential area, but that's not a big deal, right? We got a lot done, and we have stabilized all of our incomes that we're going to need to start that project. So it will definitely be the primary focus for the next episode. So thank you so very much for coming back out. I'm so glad to have you with me. I'm having so much fun playing this game again. If you made it this far, I must be doing something right, so please do leave a like. We have a community Discord, Patreon, we have all that. Links are in the description. But I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this, you may want to check out one of these other videos. And thank you very much for your time.